The city of New Terra was silent that night. Neon lights flickered over broken streets and empty alleys. Inside a tall building that once held hundreds of workers, only one man remained. His name was Daniel. He was a janitor who cleaned what was left of the old research center. Life had not been kind to him, but his heart was still warm. Every evening, after hours of mopping floors and fixing broken lights, he would sit by the service room window, with his small meal, a piece of bread and a little soup. That night, rain poured from the sky and thunder echoed through the dark. Daniel sat on his wooden chair staring at the empty hallway. Suddenly, he heard a soft sound from the corner of the corridor, a faint cry like someone in pain. He stood up and followed the noise. There, near the supply closet, he saw a woman lying on the floor. Her clothes were torn, and her face looked pale as if she had not eaten for days. Daniel rushed to her side. "Are you all right?" he asked in a soft voice. She nodded slowly, whispering that she was only a maid who had lost her way in the storm. Her name, she said, was Myra. Daniel smiled kindly. "You are safe here. Come sit and rest." He offered her his meal without hesitation. She tried to refuse, but hunger took over. She ate quietly while Daniel watched her with gentle concern. What Daniel did not know was that Myra was not a maid at all. She was the ruler of a hidden alien empire, disguised as a human to observe Earth in secret. Her ship had been damaged, and she had landed near the city days ago. She had seen cruelty and greed among humans and had almost lost hope that kindness still existed. But Daniel's simple act of sharing his last food changed everything. She thought about humanity. As the rain fell harder outside, Myra looked at him with strange glowing eyes that she quickly hid. Daniel noticed nothing. He only said softly, "It will be all right. We will find a way through this night." She smiled faintly for the first time in years, feeling something she had never known: compassion without expectation. That night, the janitor who had nothing gave everything he had and unknowingly touched the heart of the alien queen herself. Morning came with a pale grey light shining through the broken glass windows. Daniel woke up in his chair with a sore back and heavy eyes. Myra was gone. Only the empty bowl of soup remained beside the window. For a moment he thought maybe he had dreamed it all. But when he saw the small silver pendant on the table, he knew she had been real. He put it in his pocket and went back to work, sweeping the halls of the lonely building. High above the clouds, something stirred. A massive ship cloaked from human eyes hovered silently. Inside the ship, Myra sat on her throne, once again no longer in her fragile disguise. Her true form glowed like starlight, her eyes brighter than suns. Around her stood her royal guards waiting for orders. But Myra did not speak for a long time. She was thinking of the human who had shared his last food without fear or greed. Her chief advisor entered the chamber and bowed. "My queen, the humans have proven dangerous. Shall we proceed with the cleansing mission?" Myra raised her hand and stopped him. "Not yet," she said slowly. "There is something they have that we do not." The advisor looked confused. "What could they have that our empire lacks?" he asked. Myra closed her eyes and whispered softly, "Kindness." Back on Earth, Daniel worked quietly. That evening he went home to his small apartment and placed the pendant on his shelf. It shimmered faintly like it was alive. He smiled at it, not knowing it was a royal insignia of an alien queen. The next few nights were quiet, but Daniel kept thinking of Myra. Something about her had felt different, her calm presence, her glowing eyes in the dark. He wished he could see her again just to know she was safe. On the fifth night, a bright blue light filled the sky above. New Terra. People screamed and ran as a huge shadow passed over the city. Daniel ran outside, thinking it was another storm. But then the light grew stronger until the ground shook. The air was filled with energy that made his skin tingle. He looked up and gasped as a ship unlike anything human appeared above. Inside that ship, Myra watched him through the viewing screen, her heart torn between duty and feeling. The Empire awaited her command, but her thoughts were only of the human janitor who had given her hope. The city trembled under the glow of the massive ship. People shouted in fear, thinking it was the end. Daniel stood frozen in the middle of the street, unable to move, his eyes fixed on the light above. Then everything went silent. The noise stopped, the wind stilled, and a single beam of soft golden light descended upon him. He felt no pain, only warmth, like standing Under the morning sun after a long night of cold. From the light a familiar figure appeared. It was Myra, but now she looked nothing like before. Her human form was gone, replaced by a tall being of radiant light, her hair flowing like silver fire, her eyes endless and deep. Daniel took a step back in shock, but she smiled gently and said in a voice that felt like music, "Daniel, do not be afraid." He whispered, "You are not a maid, are you?" She shook her head slowly. "I am the ruler of a world far beyond your stars. I came to judge your kind, but you showed me something I had forgotten. Compassion. You gave your last meal to a stranger, without asking anything. Because of you, I have changed the fate of this world." Daniel could not speak. Around them, the city lights flickered as the alien ship began to hum with energy. Myra lifted her hand and a soft wave of light spread through the sky, erasing the dark clouds and calming the trembling earth. The people below stopped running and looked up in awe. The ship that once carried a threat now glowed like a second sun, bringing warmth instead of fear. Myra turned to Daniel again. "I cannot stay," she said, "but I will leave you a gift." She touched his chest and a faint blue light flowed into him. "You will heal others as you healed me. Spread the same kindness that saved your world." Before he could reply, the light rose again, carrying her back into the sky. The ship shimmered once more and vanished without a sound. Only the pendant on his shelf glowed brighter for a moment, then settled into stillness. Days passed and the city recovered from the strange event. Daniel continued his work quietly, but now wherever he went people felt peace. Flowers grew where he walked and wounds seemed to heal faster near him. He never told anyone what happened that night, but sometimes he looked up at the stars and smiled, knowing that somewhere far away an alien queen watched over him, and the world he had saved with nothing more than a single act of kindness.